Listen, this is, as was just said there by Jim Proudfoot, first time since 1966 England have got to a final. You think about all those amazing, horrible moments. I tweeted last night about the incredible phone-ins we've had, tournament after tournament, where it's negativity and it's so painful, all of those phone-ins. And it's so good not to have to relive one of those.
Exactly. Feel the times when England won the Rugby World Cup. Look at the celebrations that followed and how proud we were of every single player. Look at when England won the Cricket World Cup, how proud we are as a nation of every single player. Now, I said before last night's game, we did a little video, I was proud of England team to have got to the semi-final. That was the minimum, but to go on and get to the final is a different thing. Anything can happen. It's a one-off game now, right? They go on and win it. Look at the memories that's going to create for people up and down this land. You know what I mean? It's a magnificent occasion. And you talk about trying to get tickets there. It's almost impossible because that many people out there who are fans of this great sport want to be there and celebrate history in case England win. Because we'll still be talking about it in another 25 years.
We will.
We will, and people don't realise it now, but they will. In 25 years, they'll still be talking about the 2020 Euros, or 2021, whichever you want to call it, where England triumphed at Wembley and Harry Kane bagged a hat-trick and he gets knighted. We'll still be talking about it. Or that famous clip of commentary, whether it be somebody at talkSPORT or ITV or BBC, that does that magic quote that gets churned out every single week.
Absolutely.
For the rest
on repeat
of life.
Absolutely right. And it's also, there are some people wondering, why are you celebrating when you haven't won anything? I get that totally, because they haven't won the Euros, and they might not win the Euros. Italy are a really good side. But when you're an England fan and you've carried that tournament baggage for a year, all your life, whether it's Rooney getting sent off or Rooney getting injured, not even qualifying, being awful in South Africa, being boring in 2012, being dreadful in 2014, not getting out of the group. In fact, in 2014 in Brazil, we were out after 2 games before most England fans had travelled out there. And then 2016 Iceland was the pinnacle. Now, since then, it's got better. But to reach a final for the first time in our lifetime, that's why we're celebrating. And there ain't nothing you can waste your time tweeting that's going to bother us or stop us. So we're going to carry on celebrating. And yesterday, talkSPORT released a video on their social media channels. It's a video where the England legend, talkSPORT's Stuart Pearce, describes why he loves England.
What does England mean to me? I was born in Shepherd's Bush, London, the capital. I worked as an electrician whilst playing non-league football for Wealdstone. Eventually I signed for Coventry City, then Nottingham Forest. The best was yet to come. On the 19th of May 1987, I was called up to play for my country. It was the greatest honour of my life.
Strong challenge there between Josimar and Pearce, the New England cap, Stuart Pearce.
I'll never forget the feeling each time I was able to pull on my national shirt. To be one of the best 11 players in your nation felt incredibly special. Singing the national anthem with 100,000 patriots singing alongside you at Wembley. It makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up even now. Nothing comes close. So what does England mean to me? It's Cornwall, it's the Lake District, the New Forest, Stonehenge, Buckingham Palace. It's a Cornish pasty, fish and chips, clotted cream and scones, pie and mash. It's the Who, the Stranglers, Oasis, the Sex Pistols. It's the bridges of Brunel, the sonnets of Shakespeare, Her Majesty, the Queen. It's a Bristolian, a Brummie, a Scouser, a Geordie, a Cockney, and a good old-fashioned cup of tea. More than anything, it's home. This country, this England, my England. And if anyone knows that as well as I do, it's Gareth Southgate and these players.
A famous night, a perfect night, one of those that you will just never forget.
So do us proud, lads. Think about what your country means to you.
England, keep dreaming, keep believing.
Do it for yourselves. Do it for us.
I have not heard Wembley like this.
Do it for England.
Wow. How you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good.
Cool. Whoa. There's tweets coming in. Anthony just tweeted. So I'm listening to that Stuart Pearce video. I'm welling up. What a listen. And what a man as well. And he's bang on. And you all have that. You know, what's amazing about England? So throughout the 120 minutes, I'm right on edge. I'm nervous. I'm tense. Sometimes I'm overreacting to things that go wrong. Sometimes I'm staying too calm when I should be excited. But at the full-time whistle, I can let it all out. And it absolutely drains you emotionally. So, yes, supporting it, it's your country. You support your team. I get all of that, why you support a team, club or country. But what is it about England that makes you that passionate, makes you do silly things, makes you that emotional about supporting your country's football team? What do you love about England? There might be things that you dislike. I'm not interested. We're not interested today, are we? We're interested in the things you love about England. That's what we're interested in.
Amazing, isn't it, really? And he talks about there where he's come from, his journey to reach to the very top, something he probably never even, well, he dreamed of, but he didn't think it was going to happen. And he fought his way to the very top and played for England in major tournaments, scored penalties, played with a passion, which I think when we saw Stuart play with that sort of passion, and I think we expect the minimum for every single player we see to show it. Some show it differently. He's outwardly passionate, isn't he? Some players can also have it's in there, but they haven't got that personality to let it all out like Stuart does. I was very much like Stuart. I played with my heart. It was a dream to play for England, to play for the Three Lions and the Crown. You imagine when you get that first cap and you go out there, and being a Yorkshireman, it's not something we do very often, is shed a tear or whatever. We somehow put it to one side and fight it back, but you can't stop it because you're representing your country, and you see the delight when you look around that first game and there's 20,000-30,000 people watching you and cheer you on. All they want is to be in your position. And you've got to remember that when you're a sportsman. But every single fan out there just wants to be you for 1 minute. Just 1 minute, stood there with a football running in against Schmeichel with a chance to winning the semi-final and put your team into the final and playing in a Euros final. Or in my case, being there, bowling that ball that wins you a test match or a one-day international or wins you a World Cup final. Ben Stokes lived the dream. He lived the dream. The ups and downs he's had in his life, where he was born, he's brought up in New Zealand, come over to England. And we absolutely love him for that moment of brilliance. Freddie Flintoff, for what he did, brought the Ashes back after so long. He was one of many players who did it, but we all remember Fred because of his outwardly personality. You know what I mean, Ed? We all want to experience it just for 1 minute of our lives. And the lucky ones are every single player of that 26-man squad who are out there. And they should remember that. But every fan in that stadium last night, Denmark or England, just want to be out there to experience it for 1 second.
Yeah, I heard an interview with Kyle Walker afterwards where he was talking about he was living his boyhood dream. You know, just playing for England. This is a guy as well, let's not forget that he was on the outside of the England squad for about a year under Gareth Southgate. He was cast out. But he didn't think about, retiring from international football in a huff. All he thought about was getting back out there and proving his worth and fighting his way back in. And here he is, one of the players of the tournament.
Well, you are that way. And I've heard other England players and said it meant more to them playing for their club than it does their country. There will be people like that out there, especially footballers. You know what I mean? But for me and my sport, it was all about representing at the very highest level, 3 Lions and a Crown. I mean, it was all about playing for your country. Playing for England and representing England.
Well, let's hear from you. What does England mean to you? 08717 22 33 44.